I sit here before you not as a hero or a victim, but as a whistleblower compelled to disclose the truth. That said, in coming forward, I believe I'm risking my career, my reputation, and my casework outside of the investigation we are here to discuss.
I have been attacked as incompetent and falsely accused of being a liar, a leaker, or both, all by people who know nothing about me or the facts of this case.
Those two IRS whistleblowers who were punished for investigating Hunter Biden's taxes and alerting the agency that the Justice Department was up to no good are getting their jobs back, and then some. The Treasury Department is bringing back Joseph Ziegler and Gary Shapley as senior advisors after they were sidelined for exposing Biden's alleged $8.3 million tax evasion. That's Hunter Biden. It's a win for the veteran investigators and for transparency in our democracy. Scott Bessent saying the government failed them and promising to make sure it doesn't happen again.
The culture of being able to come forward when you see wrongdoing is a central part of our democracy. These two gentlemen were the dedicated civil servants trying to do their jobs, and they were blocked from doing that. We'll have them in Treasury. We'll learn what's been going on at the IRS, what's been wrong, how could this Hunter Biden nonsense have happened, and we're going to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone again.
Brian, if there's anybody who can help fix this broken agency, it would be Shapley and Ziegler. It's kind of an amazing thing, and credit to Chuck Grassley.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that, because that's the first thing that stood out to me was that Senator Chuck Grassley is the one. I mean, and I think Scott Bessent might have done it anyway, but he said, you gotta bring these guys in to help you with this. And Scott Bessent had the good sense to do it, obviously. And yes, if you're going to fix brokenness in government, choose the people who had the guts to identify it when it was to their great detriment to do so, right? I mean, and this is not proven, but they've named 6 IRS executives they say retaliated against them for doing what they did. Now, that's going to be adjudicated in a court, and we'll see if those people are guilty of that. But the point is, they pointed out things like running out the clock on the statutes. They pointed out slow walking the investigation, blocking search warrants, all the kinds of things you should have done in a case like Hunter Biden's. They can see it. They know where the problems came from, and now they're going to have the ear of the Treasury Secretary. Good win for America to have these guys back on the right side.
Absolutely. Joseph Ziegler in that soundbite that we played from 2023 said he was risking his career. He knew that he was doing that. And as a matter of fact, they went after these two people. We are living in a culture, at least we were under the Biden administration, where our agencies were being weaponized against us as American citizens. So if you were President Trump, they were coming after you through the Department of Justice. If you were whistleblowers and you were unearthing information about Hunter Biden that was later revealed to be true, they were going to come after you, because their goal was to keep everybody's mouth shut so that they could get away with the malfeasance that they had been practicing for the 4 years that they were in power. This is not the American way. It's not what the American people stand for. And I think Bessent is right. We have to restore confidence into what we're doing here again, where people realize if you're a whistleblower and you're doing the right thing, nothing's going to happen to you. And if you're president of the United States and you're standing for what the majority of the country wants and what is right, and going against the grain of some of the radicals, that you can do that too and not be prosecuted by the Department of Justice as well.
I would say this is why a strong majority of Americans want DOJ and drain the swamp. And if you were surprised by 2016 or surprised by the election we just had, then you shouldn't be. Because if you were awake, you had heard people saying, I don't like what's happening inside these dark corners of the government. I don't like that government's not transparent. And I think that DOJ still very much has that political will to go in and sort of root out some of the weed, the crap, because people just don't want this.
Well, to push back a little bit, I think whistleblower protection is front and foremost the most important thing. And I think that's what Scott Bessent said today. And these two gentlemen were wrongly thrown out because they brought something to someone's attention that they didn't like. But we can't have it the other way, too. 60 Minutes just did a piece where they were concerned that many whistleblowers are being forced out of the government through Doge, and people in these positions of power now don't have someone to complain to. It can be as simple as something as, just problem at work and I have to report my boss, and we lose the protection of these whistleblowers on either side, no matter what they're reporting. So I liked what the secretary said today, protecting the whistleblower, and this is a good example of righting a wrong, and now let's just hope that they can continue to not politicize things, because you don't want that narrative now thrown back at you if you're getting rid of some people.
Well, this
in
is
that
well
role.
documented and documented in front of Congress.
Yeah.
That, to reiterate some of what Brian was saying, that Shapley and Ziegler were removed from the Hunter Biden case, and basically their careers ruined. This was in December. It was December 2 years ago. They told their IRS bosses that the DOJ and U.S. Attorney David Weiss in Delaware were obstructing the investigation. They blocked search warrants. They also tipped off the DOJ, Hunter Biden's lawyers, of impending searches, and then let the statute of limitations expire. And those 6 IRS executives who they say retaliated against them, they could be disciplined in an official complaint, which is pending. But again, this is well documented. Just going to 60 Minutes is something altogether different, and making accusations about what Doge is doing, altogether different.